Hi, so I've just got another deck in. I've been waiting for a little while for this one actually. It's one that I really wanted, one that I've had on my wish list for ages. I've literally been waiting for someone to put it up for sale in the UK so I could get it off them. It's never come up. But it is the original Alpha Rackham Oracle. Revised and refined 2nd edition, 80 card Oracle. 12-page booklet, and it's by DuckSoup Productions. So it came with these little cards. Got a bit of info on there. And this is a 6 of water, I'm assuming from one of their decks. Okay, we're not doing this, doggies. No. No. One minute. They're just going to keep kicking off now. Every time, they've been sat here quite all day. The second I go to do something, they start. Okay, so it comes in a sturdy 2-piece box. This feels like rose petal finish, which I'm quite surprised about. It feels lovely. It's one of them that you'd like to just sit and mess with. Although it's one of them where if you take the cards out and you put it back together, because of the rose petal on it, it'll be really grabby and really difficult to open again, I assume, just because of how difficult it was to open with the cards in. So you get just a little booklet with it. Tells you a little bit about Rackham. A little bit about the Oracle. A method for using the deck. A couple of spreads. Three spreads it looks like, and then just some more information, and then information about them and where it's printed and everything. And they're tarotbyducksoup.com. I'm not gonna mess myself up by sticking that together properly. They're just held together by a bit of plastic there. So they are, I mean, that plastic is kind of rubbed off there, but to be honest, by the time I'm done shuffling with this will be bashed up anyway. I do tend to bash my decks up quite quickly. I kind of like them looking a bit worn as well. But you do get the gold edging. I mean, is it sharp? I don't know. It is kind of sharp because the cards are stiff. They're a bit more on the plasticky side. Got a good flex to them though, and they are a bit glossy. But again, you're only going to know that if you've got direct light right over it. If it's just on the table, you're not going to notice. These cards are quite dark printed, so I'm hoping that you can actually see these cards as I'm showing you. This is the backs. Turn them over. Okay, get you in a bit. So I've got the first card, and it's Curiosity and Hidden Danger. And it's a nod to Red Riding Hood. Now, these have been brightened up. This is why I went for the 2nd edition, because these have been brightened up. I believe the 1st edition copy, the images are very dark, but they are naturally very dark anyway from when they were actually created, because you're going back in the day. So these have actually been brightened up. You can still get the 1st edition. It's a bit more expensive. You can still buy it through their site, I believe. as I say, a bit more expensive. If these seem dark to you and you're struggling to see these images, it might be worth going for the second edition over the first edition if you were going to look at getting the deck, because it is a nice little deck. It's one that you would have to have decent lighting with, and if you needed glasses, have your glasses on, because you're not going to be able to make out the detail in this deck. I mean, it's a bit funky on my eyes. When I'm looking at it through the phone, through the screen of the phone, it just looks dark. It just looks black. Now I'm hoping when I upload this, it's not going to look like that, because when I'm looking down at it, because I've got all the light around me, I can see the image okay, but it is still dark. So Curiosity, Hidden Danger. Bit of a nod to Red Riding Hood, I think. Beginnings at the end. Strength, the beast tamed. Bonnie. Shut your face. Oh, she's so vocal, this dog. I've got one that's dead vocal, that's come over to me now, and another one that is so jealous that the fact that I've reached my arm down, she's dived up out of her bed to come running over. They're annoying. Stability with sure-footedness. I already know, as I'm going through this, that I am not going to be able to pronounce some of the words on here, because some of them are a bit of a mouthful. So Temptation, the Beast Within, so that's Hansel and Gretel, I'm assuming, or it gives off that vibe. Coercion, Leaving Behind. I've wanted this for ages, this deck, because you know, like, you get decks, and you get decks where they've got nice light and shadow kind of aspects to them as well, where it is a nice blend of light and shadow, but they never seem to go into like the dark. Even though they go into shadow, they don't go into like the dark corners. Whereas this deck, you could look at this as leaving behind like escape and coercion. You could look at it as leaving behind a situation where someone's been kind of taking advantage of you or something like that. But you could also see it as being basically forced. You know, you could look into it more deeply and say she's literally being taken away from everything she knows. She's being isolated. She's being, you know, coerced into separation from people. So you can look at it, it's deeper to me. That's why I've lusted after this for ages. Guidance, the Hidden Path. Parasite, Dominating Influence. So this is giving vibes of Rapunzel. Decline, All Passion Spent. Like this one, you could look at it in a, you know, all passion spent, like decline, like a decline in your mental health, decline in, you know, just your physical well-being, your monetary well-being. But you could also see it as just like getting older as well. So you could look at it as a few different ways, like literally you've come into the end of your life. There's quite a few different ways you could look at these cards. Compassion, a light in the dark. The 7 dwarfs. Reserve, complete unto oneself. And I love this as well because it's going to go with so many of my decks. I've got so many decks that I've just never been able to pair with anything. And this one will pair with so many of them. I'm looking forward to it. Forbidden fruit, mind your own business. Shadow, something approaches. Obstruction. Obtrusious obtrusious personage. This is where we're going to start getting into the tongue ties. Fortification, arrayed in confidence. Connectedness, embraced by the natural world. Ghoul, false promise. Guardianship, protecting the vulnerable. Quackery, professional incompetence. Providence, anonymous benefactors. Alliance, mutual benefit. Covetousness, opportunistic impulse. I'm sure that's not how that's pronounced. Covetousness. Covetousness. I don't know. I don't bloody know. Destiny, change in the wind. And if you're into any fairy tales and stuff like that, you'll probably recognise quite a fair few of these images. Influence, stirring up the spirits. Madrugada, doorway to dream time. Anxiety, inertia born of doubts. Renewal, the mercurial soul. Grace, divinely blessed. I can actually see a lot more. I mean, looking through the phone, I can't. Looking at these, just looking down at these, I can see so much detail in these, especially the lighter colour ones. The darker ones, you know, it does fade off a bit into the shadows. But these ones, you can see all the detail on a dress. I don't know if that's going to come up on the camera. You can see the little cello here. I'm not sure what that is. Obviously like a little fairy woman, spider web and that. You can see all the details in the lighter bits. I'm going to start slip sliding all over. Grace, divinely blessed. I don't know where I said that one. Courage, defensive but daring. Looks a bit fool energy, doesn't it? Creative power, sowing the stars. Conflict, personal disunity. Curse, ill aspect. Is that like, what is it, the donkey, is it bottom? Am I thinking of something completely different? Midsummer Night's Dream something. Ooh. Disorientation, losing one's way. Jealousy, unleashing inner demons. Now, I don't know how it's coming across on the camera here, but you've got all this kind of going on in the background. There's so much in this card, so much detail going on in this card, but you can still see like the sword and stuff like that. In person, you can still see the sword. Intuition, connection to subconscious. Awakening, you have been but slumbered here while these visions did appear. So I think it is from Midsummer Night, isn't it? Gossip, words to the unwise. Machination, unreliable associates. Polarity, a charged atmosphere. Report, trusted confidant. Devilment, force of mischief. This image reminds me, years ago I used to get like Christmas times and stuff like that, these little baskets of soaps, or they were like He had these they were like tablets like you put in the bath. Way before, you know, you've got the pearls, the bath pearls and stuff like that. Before that, you used to get like these like bath bombs. They were like bath bombs, but like these little foam, these little things. And you used to have images like this all over them. I mean, Anna used to send them down from Scotland to us every Christmas when we were kids. Fecundity, creative power, delusion, false attraction, deception, unreliable guidance, first light, or the breaking of the storm, at the breaking of the storm even. Persecution, casual cruelty, disquiet, sudden disturbance, cultivation, achieving refinement, amalgamation, inner harmony, insight, parting the veil, complication, unexpected development, subversion, tranquility disturbed, discovery, new horizons, ascension, nurtured and nurturing. Right, stop munching yourself. He's chewing his foot. I don't even, I apologise if you can hear that. It grosses me out. Undercurrent, unseen forces at work. Fabulism, power of the imagination. Imprudence, home unguarded. Adoption, new interests. Navigation, charting your own course. Curse, I nearly said then, charting your own curse. Awareness, truth true character revealed. It's messing with my eyes now, the little squiggly writing. Provocation, challenge accepted. The hare and the rabbit. Hare and the rabbit, the hare and the tortoise, sorry. Enlightenment, hearing the hidden songs. They're all playing instruments up in the tree. Coterie, kindred spirits. Magnetism, charming properties. Sangfroid, confronting the demons. Futility, chasing an illusion. Harriman, the darker self ascended. Regrets, winter of the soul. Wonder, shadow of the past. Ending. Our journey's over and done. I don't think I've seen that card before. Consequence, indiscretions, progeny. Progeny. Perseverance, hanging on at the edge. Intemperance, lack of self-control. Gonna get difficult to pick up now. Acrimony, festering resentments. Exigency, unpleasant but necessary. Exigency, I can't get that out. What's she doing? Oh, she's got a dead frog or something. Maybe not dead, she's getting rid of a frog. Afflatus, your divine calling. Transmutation, elemental alchemy. The hidden, transpiring beneath the surface. Oh, I hope you can make them out. There's like a whole little world going on down there. You've got the male signifier, or significator, and the female significator. So I guess you could use these like by pulling out, like if it's a female having a reading, pulling out the female and then having the male in there. You can, you can obviously choose what you want them to be or whatever. Shuffle's nice hand over hand. It doesn't feel as sharp as I was expecting it to be honest, because some of them really spike you when you shuffle them. Maybe not the best at side shuffling because it is quite stiff, quite plasticky almost. But it does shuffle this way nice. And I can't riffle shuffle me because I think I've got arthritis in my thumb and my finger. I can't do it properly. It hurts. Let's see if I can do it. No, it hurts my thumb when I do it. That's not just this deck though, that's all decks seem to do this for me. So you could pull your significator, or if you're doing for a guy and a girl, you could do that. Obviously you can just assign whatever sex you want to the significator cards. You could just use it on its own and pull a reading. So it looks nice together now. I want to see if I'm going to do a flip through of this deck soon. I'll put it back in order to be able to do it. This is the Scent Proverbs. Get rid of you. Maybe not. I mean, it does. It's not bad. I like this deck. I didn't realise though when I got it. I mean, I obviously seen the deck before I bought it, but I didn't realise how much the blue was going to be bothersome to me. It's the only way I can say it. It makes it feel kind of limiting, like with this blue around it. I wish they'd have just gone with like a neutral colour. It goes alright with that. And there are others, but I've got more packed away, so that was just a quick look at. Oh god, I'm never going to get it off now. The Rackham Oracle by DuckSoup Productions. And you can find them at DuckSoup.com, I think it is it? Tarot by DuckSoup.com, so you can find them there. So I shall leave that there. Alright, thank you.